Hey guys, welcome back to Think Beautiful, the channel where I talk all about Meghan Markle and sometimes Prince Harry if I could be bothered. But in today's episode, is Meghan Markle lying about some of her as ever reviews? Yeah, I don't think she's telling the truth here. I'm going to show you what I found. You guys make up your own mind, but I have looked hard for some of these reviews and I'll show you what I've got to. But here we go, because this was the image we got recently. If you're lucky enough to be on the As Ever newsletter, you got an update about her wine. Now, I'm going to read you the little newsletter. So then we'll come back to the reason why I'm doing this video. So, this is the newsletter. We hope you've been having a beautiful summer. Well, actually, I'm in Australia and it's winter and it's freezing cold. So, great start acknowledging your international fans. Yeah, as ever. Enjoying the adventure of travel or the calm of home. Finding beauty in the little things like Harry and perhaps trying something new. On that note, many of you, well, hardly any of you really, were able to try our debut 2023 Napa Valley Rosé, and we were over the moon to hear your feedback. All right, so this is the feedback. 10 out of 10. Perfect. Elevated flavor. That's not even a term you would use for wine. Stunning and delicious. We also won blind taste tests as the best rosé and were coined the it drink for summer. Wow, we thought. And thank you, we say. Oh, this is so corny, honestly. This affirmed all of the love, time, and effort our team and our founder poured into curating this blend to evoke the sun drenched spirit of Napa Valley and the breathtaking tenor of the California coast. Thank you for filling our cup. Now it's time for us to fill your glass and our bank accounts. We are pleased to share that our 2024 Napa Valley Rosé that no one asked for will be available for purchase next week. It marries the same harmony of notes, just using the word marry so that we feel like Harry and Meghan are still married and happy and in harmony, I guess, from our first blend and creates an elegant medley of delicate yet memorable flavor. Whole lot of word salad here. You'll want to clink glasses with friends as the sun sets, toasting to a summer of joy. Oh, that word is overused. Barefoot, obviously, they're all barefoot all the time, or in sandals with your toes hanging out, dressed up or dressed down. Mostly they'll be dressed down. This rosé may become your favorite accessory for al fresco lunches and dinners at dusk. Cheers! The As Ever team. Now, they've made a slight typo there because, as we know, the As Ever team are AKA the Confederate of Dunces. And I did a little XOXO because, why not? But what I want to actually talk about after all of that word salad are these reviews, because this is very interesting. As you can see, these are exactly phrases that have been said. 10 out of 10, perfect, elevated flavor, stunning and delicious, the best rosé, the it drink for summer. So I read that. Now, I've read a lot of things about Meghan Markle over the last few months in particular, especially about her wine. Because, I'm out here doing the work, reading the stuff to present to you guys, and I don't recall these quotes. So I thought to myself, I just want to find them. If you're going to put these in and you're going to say, wow, and this affirms all the things, and they're going to go on these as feedback and use this as some kind of leverage, well, I better be able to find them, because otherwise, wouldn't that be a lie? And would that surprise you at all? No. But anyway, let's start because I had a look at this article. So this is a review. It's by The Telegraph. We asked a wine expert to try Meghan's rosé. This was her verdict. So I've read through all of this. First thing I want to let you know is that this was a blind tasting. A lot of these tastings were, which is the best way to do it, absolutely. But I couldn't help but just look at this lady doing the wine tasting because does she not look a little bit like Jamie Kern-Lima? Maybe without makeup or something. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I just thought it looked a little bit like Jamie Kern-Lima. Oh, let's get that off the screen. Sorry. Anyway, this lady, I'm sure she's very credible. I'm sure she's wonderful. Her name is Diane Gross. Now, some might pronounce that slightly differently, but we'll go with Diane Gross. And what I love straight away about Diane Gross is her last name, because what you can do now is you can literally type into Google Gross, I'll just say Gross, Meghan Markle, and this comes up. So Meghan Markle is associated with the word gross, because that's just what it says, because of this review. I love that for Meghan. That is the best thing to come out of the Telegraph in a very long time. Now, this review wasn't overly terrible at all. They didn't hate the wine. But these are some of the things that were said, okay? As ever, did not have the refreshing qualities I look for in a rosé. This is a classic. It burned in the back of my throat and I found the taste aggressive. Yeah, I don't know why Meghan didn't include that in her review. That's pretty scathing. That's pretty bad. It burned the back of someone's throat. Wow. And it's aggressive, just like the founder, you could say, allegedly. Now, this one, the smell was my least favorite thing about it. Reminiscent of the vaguely artificial tang when someone near you opens a bag of Skittles or something a little soapy. Now, we know Meghan loves dish soap, so I don't know, maybe there's just that kind of aroma going around wherever she is and it's gone into the wine somehow. But I did not see any 10 out of 10, any perfect or elevated flavor, stunning and delicious, and certainly no it drink for summer. So that one, I couldn't come up with anything. So where is this 10 out of 10? I want to find this 10 out of 10 because who in their right mind would give this thing a 10 out of 10? That is a crazy, crazy score to give something like this. So I found another article, another review. This is from the Times. 3 sommeliers tried Meghan's new rosé. Here's what they thought. All right, so I'll tell you because these guys did give it a score out of 10. So maybe there's a 10 out of 10 in here. Let's have a look. This one here said it's hot on the finish. Well, this is not good either. When I take my first sip, it's hot on the finish, not in temperature, but in alcohol content. Sounds similar to it burned the back of my throat, if you ask me. I get that heat on the nose and there's a slight burn. Oh my goodness, is this safe to drink? In the aftertaste as well. All this indicates a high alcohol wine. She gave it a 6 out of 10, which I think is very generous if it tastes like pure alcohol. But okay, 6 out of 10. Certainly not 10 out of 10. Now, this next lady, Crystal, she didn't mind it at all. I mean, she's probably still drinking it. I don't know, but she gave it a 9.5 out of 10. So she actually liked it. But you notice it's still not a 10 out of 10 because who gives anything 10 out of 10? That's just insane. Okay, so she's the closest so far, but certainly not what Meghan Markle is promoting. Then we had another one because there were 3 in this group. Now, I don't know how many glasses this lady has had, bless her, but she had very low expectations, like anyone in the world would. And she said it's better than I thought, which is not actually a positive, but I guess if you're Meghan Markle and you're getting hit by so much criticism, this is probably as good as it gets, all right? But Gabrielle gave it a 6 out of 10. So two sixes and a 9.5. It's certainly not a 10. So no mention of those phrases at all in this article either. So where are these? Where are these coming from? So I found another one, Business Insider. We tried Meghan Markle's new As Ever rosé in a blind taste test. It wasn't what we expected, but we'd buy it again. All right. So again, not terrible. Now, this was a group of people that sampled it with other rosés by celebrities. So it's a pretty good comparison because that's a kind of interesting thing to do. So these were some of the comments. Oh, I like the smell. This smells more expensive. This tastes expensive, but it doesn't taste like rosé to me. It's good, but it's not what I would expect. Hard to say if that's positive or negative. This is like a very dry white, maybe. It has a very bold flavor. I actually like that I don't think it tastes like a rosé. Weird thing to say. It's much bolder than I expected. I feel like it's aged. That's about right. That's accurate. Meghan Markle has aged. Allegedly. There's something oaky about it. It's fancy. All right. So nothing there that lines up with anything that I've shown you in the As Ever newsletter that they are trying to use to promote this wine and say how great it is. So nothing at all. Now, of course, there was the In Style article, which I did a couple of videos on because it was just ridiculous, beyond ridiculous and offensive. If you guys haven't watched that video, please go back and check it out. Yeah, I mean, this reviewer goes on and on, I think, about Diana. It's crazy. It's so offensive. But this person was sent the wine. So unlike the others, which I don't think As Ever had anything to do with, this company was actually sent the wine and she was told to try it. Now, In Style, if you didn't know, is owned by a company called Dot Dash Meredith, who are now known as People Inc. So they obviously own People. So this is a complete stitch up, as Harry would say. Okay. So, of course, it was positive to the point of delusional, I would say. But as you can see, it's owned by People. They own lots of different magazines. Interestingly, there is something in there about Martha Stewart as well, Martha Stewart Living. So there's a weird tie-in. If you haven't seen my Martha Stewart video, go and check that out. Anyway, this is something that they mentioned in this article. They did say these things here. They said it was lively. She didn't use that in her review. Refreshing, pleasant, flavorful, sweet, and enjoyable. So I'm still not seeing elevated flavor. Who said that? I'm still not seeing stunning and delicious. I'm not seeing perfect. Certainly no 10 out of 10. And where is the it drink for summer? I mean, they're just not in any of these articles. Where are they? So I found this article as well, New York Post. Now, this was a really interesting one because they did put it up against Cameron Diaz's wine. John Bon Jovi has a rosé. Did you know? I had no idea. And then Brad Pitt. I mean, I guess it's Angelina, but I know that didn't work out. So anyway, they're only putting Brad Pitt's name in here, so maybe he owns it now. I'm not really sure. But they lined it up against all of these other ones, which is really interesting. But one thing they did say about Meghan's wine, because they did actually like it in this lineup for some reason, but okay, they did. One comment they did say, and thank goodness Meghan Markle didn't use this because this would have caused all kinds of problems. Someone said, this wine is good enough to be poured at Buckingham Palace. Now that's ridiculous. But in their defense, they didn't say where it would be poured. I think they meant down the toilet or down the sink. So I guess it's half accurate. But again, I'm still not seeing these quotes. And these are quotes. You're putting your little apostrophes there. These are quotes. Where are they from? Because as you know, Meghan Markle tends to throw quotes around and she never actually gives you the references. But I mean, this is huge. She's put so many here. Where are they? I'm getting frustrated now. So here is a bit of a summary. This is an AI summary because I was over it. I couldn't find these. I thought, let's just ask ChatGPT. Okay, let's just ask the one that knows the stuff. I don't have to keep going through these articles. So as you can see, the Telegraph's expert tasting, while noting some appealing characteristics, the expert ultimately ranked it lowest among the trio tasted. There was no perfect score, so that's the 10 out of 10, or exaltation of it being flawless. New York sommeliers in the Times had the three critics, as I showed you. One gave it a 9.5, and two gave it the 6 out of 10. All right. But again, no mention of these comments. Business Insider, as I've showed you as well, they appreciated the wine's bold, unexpected character. None awarded it a perfect score. So, where is this 10 out of 10? It makes no sense. Now, again, AI went on and said, there is no reputable review or article that specifically rates Meghan Markle's As Ever Rosé as 10 out of 10. They can't find it. This thing looks at everything on the internet. It cannot find anyone saying 10 out of 10. Now, I can be wrong here, but this is just what it's telling me. I personally can't find it either. In fact, the highest score publicly cited comes from a group of sommeliers that I've shown you, the 9.5. That's all that seems to exist. But that was just for one individual panelist, not a major publication awarding a perfect rating. If you saw mention of a 10 out of 10 rating somewhere, it's likely an informal claim, like some social media fan post. But there's no evidence from recognized critics or publications supporting that. So, what I'm going to put out there is that Meghan Markle is going through Instagram and finding some rando's account. Who knows who sits behind it? Probably someone from the As Ever team, for all we know, and is using wording from that post to put out there and tell us that that is the kind of score she is getting. It is not credible. And that is something that is, I think, a big problem for her and for this brand. That is crazy. What about these comments? Stunning and delicious or elevated flavor. Who the F said this? I just want to know if someone thinks that that's great. It's great. But Megan and the As Ever team are using it against us right now and telling us that this is what people are saying. Who said it then? Just tell us who said it. Because ChatGPT says, no review explicitly used phrases like stunning and delicious or elevated flavor. Again, where is this coming from? The most enthusiastic wording comes from InStyle, as we know, totally set up, Business Insider, and a sommeliers panel in the Times, which highlighted flavor complexity, boldness, and drinkability. The New York Post wine expert panel spoke most effusively, using regal comparisons, which you saw, and noting its standout qualities among celebrity rosés. All right, so no one has said this. Again, is this just some random comment on Instagram? You can't use this kind of comment and say that this is what the wine is all about. That is ridiculous. So ridiculous. But the most crazy thing I've heard is this one, the it drink for summer. Who said that? Just tell me who said it. We already know they're probably not okay in the head. That's okay. Up to them, what they do with their life. But who said this? I just have to know, because this is just invisible. No one said this. I can tell you that, because again, the phrase the it drink for summer, all that the computer can find, all that the internet can find, is that it appears in Meghan Markle's own brand announcement, the one that I read to you at the start. This thing is just sending me in circles. It can't find it anywhere, not in a third-party review, but in the brand's own marketing material. Excuse me? You've said it about your own wine, and now you're saying that people are saying it? This is a joke. This is so fraudulent. I tell you, their July 2025 newsletter described the original rosé as the it drink for summer, alongside calling it perfect and stunning and delicious. It's just what I've read to you. That's all it is. Again, they're just sending me in circles. So it wasn't an independent wine critic or publication that used the phrase. It was part of As Ever brand promotional language shared directly with subscribers. Okay. So no one said this. This is such a lie. No one has ever said this except themselves. So in summary, okay, the 10 out of 10, they couldn't find it. They couldn't find it because I asked about social media as well. Maybe this thing just can't troll through social media properly. I'm not sure. It can't find it. Perfect. Not in verified user posts. Elevated flavor, not found. Stunning and delicious, not found. The It drink for summer, only in brand marketing, not user generated posts. So, in summary, it's telling me that in the June 20 release of her newsletter, which I have, and I'll show you, they used some phrasing, which was launching just in time for summer entertaining. Now, that's different to the It Drink for Summer. But the origin of the It Drink concept, it's telling me, is implied from that sentence, implied from brands' positioning in newsletter and press paraphrase. That's ridiculous. You can't just come up with another phrase and say that that's what has been said. So, this is the newsletter that they're talking about. This is the one. It was released on June 20. I'm in Australia. It comes up as June 21 for me. But this is where we first saw the wine. And it says here, as you can see, launching just in time for summer entertaining. It doesn't say anything about the It Drink for Summer. This is being implied by this sentence here. So in conclusion, the phrase the It Drink for Summer was coined in As Ever's team's newsletter. It was sent on June 20. I've just shown you. No published article or independent review contains the exact phrase, but media outlets reference the newsletter's summer-centric messaging when describing the rosé. So guys, I'm sorry, but sorry, not sorry. But all of these sayings, all of these quotes, I cannot find. Now, I can be wrong. Okay, ChatGPT can be wrong. We can be wrong, but please tell me where these are coming from. I would love to know, because is this a lie? When I can't find this kind of thing, I mean, all I can say to you guys is this just looks like lies to me. It just looks like lies. Is As Ever lying to us again? Because I'm sure they've done it before. But I just want to know. I'm just putting it out there. Guys, do your own research. Check it out. Please put in the comments if you know where these have come from, because this is frustrating me. And if this is a lie, what kind of brand is this? What is this? Time is up on this brand. If this is a lie, I have to say. But guys, thank you so much for listening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep these videos coming. Thank you. Bye.